Alright students, here I am again with our Chapter 18 vocab. Go ahead and take a look, and then go ahead and take the quiz. It's a standard matching quiz this time. So let's take a look. Alright, Reconstruction. The period of rebuilding the South and readmitting Southern states into the Union. It's the whole chapter right there, Reconstruction. Amnesty is a granting of a pardon to a large number of persons. So that's generally used when, like, using a group of people, like giving amnesty to all the people, all the Confederates. Black codes were laws passed in the South just after the Civil War aimed at controlling free men and women and allowing plantation owners to take advantage of African American workers. It was like a sort of a technical. It was the slave codes, basically, like a watered down version of the slave codes. It's like, oh, you're free now, but we're going to make these codes to still make life miserable for you. That's in large part what led to the radical Republicans and the military districting of the southern states. Override, to reject or defeat something that has already been decided, like the Congress can override a presidential veto. To impeach means to formally charge a public official with misconduct in office. You'll see that the Congress tries to impeach President Andrew Johnson. Well, they impeach them. He just doesn't get kicked out. Scalawag, name given by former Confederates to Southern whites who supported Republican Reconstruction in the South. So it's an insult to call someone a scalawag. Corruption, dishonest or illegal actions. Integrate, to unite or blend into a united whole. Integration, we've heard of. Corruption, we've heard of. Sharecropping is a system of farming in which a farmer works land for an owner who provides equipment and seeds, and that owner receives a share of the crop. So, like, instead of renting a house, you rent a farm. Poll tax, a tax a person must pay in order to vote. Pretty lame. Literacy tax, a method used to prevent African Americans from voting by requiring voters to be able to read and write. Because a lot of them were illiterate because they weren't allowed to read and write. The same thing with the poll tax, sort of. A lot of them didn't have any money, so they couldn't pay a poll tax. They were both ways to get African Americans to not be able to vote. Grandfather clause. This is a clause that allowed folk to vote even if they couldn't read or write, as long as their fathers or grandfathers had voted before Reconstruction. Basically, this is how they got illiterate white people to still vote. Because there were people, poor white folks that couldn't read or write or couldn't afford to pay a poll tax, but they still wanted them to vote. But they couldn't let the African Americans vote, so they grandfathered them in. We still use grandfather clauses today, though they're not as, devious as this one was. Segregation, the separation or isolation of a race, class, or group. Like here, there's, white people bathrooms and African American people bathrooms, and that whole process of having separate facilities and stuff like that is called segregation. And a lynching is putting to death by legal actions of a mob. So, like, here's a logo for a lynch mob. Okay, that's your vocab, your quiz, your matching quiz right here. Standard Yund matching quiz for this chapter. That's it for today. I think we might proceed with a writing exercise tomorrow. And, we'll see. We'll see how we pan out the rest of the chapter. We'll be getting into it pretty soon now. Alright, have a wonderful day. Good luck on your quiz.